Greetings all, this is Harry Nick, joined by Justin.
Hello.
How you going, dude?
I'm doing well. Bit of a raspy voice, but...
Yes, Justin has a bit of a scratchy throat. I got no sleep over the past couple of nights because my flight was cancelled out of Sydney, blah, 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 excuses. But we do not make excuses because we have some X-Wing sports to talk about.
Exactly. This is more important.
Absolutely, man. So, what happened over the past few days is we had the Wave 2 kits going to the various distributors around the world, and inevitably somebody cracks it open and spoils all of it. A surprising amount of stuff still unspoiled from the Resistance and First Order kit, so now we know everything. We're going to go through everything.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Couple of shout-outs first. First to you, because I was trapped up in Sydney and I'm messaging you going, hey, can you organise all this into a document? Because I can't, so thank you so much for doing that.
It's all good.
And to all the Redditors who translated this,
Yes.
because I'm a
They're
lazy
very
man who doesn't
important.
know how to speak Polish. So,
No, Polish and something else.
Polish and something else. We're not too
Yeah.
sure on that. We'll talk about that when we get to the FO kit. But this Resistance kit was cracked open by possibly the Polish distributor or one of the retailers or whatever. So we have a list here in front of us on this document. I'll show you the images as we go through. This is just one by one everything that was unspoiled. The one thing that we couldn't find a translation for was the Ray Gunner, but we can pretty clearly see what it is based on what's written on the card. Okay, first of all, we have one pilot that was not previously revealed on the YT-1300, the Scavenged YT, whatever, the new Falcon. It's different from all the other Falcons.
Yeah, it's Old Man Han.
Old Man Han. Setup. You can be placed anywhere in the play area beyond range 3 of an enemy ship. It's the same as it always was.
Yeah.
Which is a bit sad because it never really saw play compared to the old Ray. I think people were playing around with it when it first came out. But this ability is weird. We're seeing it come up in the game a bit more, like the Scum Boba Fett crew lets you get placed on a rock. We still have the Upsilon shuttle pilot, which lets you deploy guys range 2 of him or whatever it was.
Yeah, range 2.
Something like that. And I don't know how much play these abilities are going to see. I don't know how much relevance they have in second edition as opposed to first. I guess it's pretty cool.
Yeah, I think Han might see a bit more play because he's Initiative 6 compared to Ray, which is Initiative 5. And also then you could put possibly the Ray Gunner card, which we'll see later.
Yeah, that's true.
And that might...
It might be relevant enough. Because it's basically Ray's pilot ability, sort of.
Yeah.
In fact, for all intents and purposes, on the Han YT, it would just be Ray's pilot ability. So that's very relevant.
Yeah.
It's going to come down to costings. Also, yes, you mentioned Initiative 6. We're seeing some pilots see play simply because they're Initiative 6. Sun Tefel, for example, his ability isn't as good as it used to be, but the more and more I see him see play, it's very clear to me how relevant that Initiative 6 on him is. Yeah. And Han might have the same treatment because of that. It still has 3 red dice. It's still a very decent ship. Definitely. Not as powerful as the Rebellion YT-1300, but still very cool. Yeah. Let's move on to the Resistance bombers. We have all of the pilots revealed here.
Yeah.
Let's start with the bottom of the list here. We have Cat.
Quality name.
Yeah, okay, we like cats. Why not? Why perform a primary attack if the defender is within range 0 to 1 of at least one friendly device, you roll 1 additional die. So the easiest way to play around with this is to use devices that go off when your opponent flies over them. Yeah, proxy mines, Cononets, cluster mines. Yeah, there's a few. But we're talking about Page Tycho here. Because there is a way to get your seismics and your protons and your ion bombs to work with this also. Because Page can drop one of these devices during the engagement phase, which then means you can drop it onto an enemy or near an enemy, and you get immediate value out of that. And that bomb does not go off until the end of the next activation phase. But the fact that Page already is powerful, has a very good action economy, there's a way to get even more value out of that. It seems very relevant.
Now, Caddy is Initiative 1, so...
Yes.
Yeah, I suppose you're going to be using it more of a blocker sort of thing. But...
Yeah, for sure. And you have a high initiative bomber with Page next to it. Seems good. I like it a lot. Finch Dello. When you drop a bomb, and the translation here does say bomb, so do be aware of that.
Yeah.
You may place it in the player area instead, touching you, which is the same as it always was. Now it's referring specifically to the ones that go off at the end of activation, unless this translation is incorrect. Asterisk next to this video. This is translated from Polish, so there may be inaccuracies. Plus, some of the naming might be wrong. Just be aware of all that. I don't think cat is going to be called cat when it's in English.
I don't know.
It might be like a Polish thing that we'll see. But yes, if it is just bomb, it means it's taken a bit of a hit in terms of power, but that's okay.
I think it's still a good card.
Yeah, I think it's pretty decent. I like it a lot.
Yeah.
Not much more to say about it. I can't think of any way to really abuse it. It doesn't work with Page like the other guy does. But we're talking about seismics. Seismics latch onto nearby rocks. So even more options with seismics gives you a lot of extra flexibility. So I really, really dig that. That's something you couldn't do in first edition. So that's cool. And Ben 10, after you performed an attack and the defender was in your mobile firing arc, assign the rattle condition to them. Let's take this moment to talk about the stats on the bomber. So a 3 primary at the front arc and a 2 bow tie, as in the dual firing arc.
Yeah. That is very, very powerful. I wasn't expecting that.
Yep. Also, the white rotate action. I mean, we've seen this before, but we didn't see that stat line with the attacks.
Yeah.
That's really good. No other ship has that.
No.
Every ship with the primary and mobile, unless I'm mistaken, feel free to correct me in the comments, it's always the single firing arc alongside the primary. The upgraded Hawk, the Shadowcaster, all that kind of stuff. So, yeah, really good.
Not only that, 9 hull, 3 shield.
Absolutely, yeah.
More powerful than the actual bomber was in the movie.
Yeah, yeah. Oof. Yes, indeed.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that ability is really easy to trigger. You can easily just overlap the front arc. You still have a rear arc with 2 red dice. Attack them with 3, then give them rattled. And rattle basically reads whenever a bomb detonates near them, they get a critical.
Yeah.
It does say bomb in this translation. Again, a caveat that might actually be device. We'll see what happens when we get English versions. But if it is bomb, it means you're already getting damage anyway. If it's device, it means just a friendly ship ramming into like a mine or something is going to give you a bit of additional upside as well. Yeah, really good.
I like rattled.
Yeah, so proton bomb gives you 2 criticals. A seismic charge is
a hit and a crit.
When a bomb detonates at range 0 to 1. Interesting interplay with seismic charges, actually. Because the seismic charge detonates where it is, but the rock explodes somewhere else. So, theoretically speaking, you can hit 2 ships with the seismic charges.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is, if the ship that has the rattle condition card is next to the seismic charge, and the seismic charge detonates a rock over here, which hits another ship. That's a weird bit of interaction there, but something worth thinking about.
Definitely.
Yeah, okay, cool. No worries. It's pretty much the same as it was before, just more value out of your bombs. Yeah, I dig it.
Yeah.
I think Resistance Bombers is going to be a pretty fun thing to play around with.
Definitely.
Not much more to say. I think the addition of Page Tycho alongside all of these, in addition to how Cat works... Yeah, this looks pretty cool. I don't think the loss of Nim and Miranda is really going to hurt these guys too much. Okay, let's move down to the T70s, because we have all of these previously unrevealed dudes revealed. Elo Asti, when you reveal a red Talon Roll maneuver and you have no more than 2 stress tokens, treat the maneuver as white. So you have no more than 2. I think it should say 2 or less. Yeah. I think that's probably what it's going to say. Initiative 5. Ooh, yes. It used to be Pilot Skill 7, I believe.
I can't remember.
No, I can't remember either. Who cares? First edition. It's all gone. But, Initiative 5. That's really, really good.
He's going to be able to turn on a dime pretty well.
We're talking about sort of ace territory here when we have that kind of flexibility. Being able to Talon Roll. And look, the Talon Roll isn't giving you more stress tokens, so you can just do it over and over again through stress. It means you aren't clearing that stress, which kind of sucks, but that's still all right. If you have no more than 2 stress, so theoretically it could be white on 0.
Maybe?
I
don't know.
No more than 2 stress. If it's white when you have 0 stress tokens, that's seriously powerful.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. I think what really pushes this in my mind is the fact that it's Initiative 5. He's playing with Redline, Whisper, Inquisitor, Luke, all those guys. Nice. Near Numb, when you receive a stress token, if there's an enemy ship in your front arc at range 0 to 1, you may remove the stress token. He doesn't have R3A2 and Snapshot anymore, so
No.
there's none of the broken stuff from first edition going on here. So it's just a straight translation of first and second edition. Cool, not much to say there.
No.
As I said, not really anything too crazy that goes alongside him. The X-Wing's not going to have like advanced sensors or anything to do with barrel rolls and that kind of thing. So, yeah, I don't know. Like, nothing screams to me like even pattern analyzer at the time it doesn't work, so you can't barrel roll and then lose the stress that way. Yeah. I think Prime Thrusters is a very interesting card on him because he can just Talon roll all he likes. But yeah, nothing crazy there. A decent card. Temmin Wexley must be related to Snap, I suppose, or maybe that's Snap's name. I don't know. Polish translations. After you execute a speed 2 to 4 maneuver, you may perform a free boost.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah, chuck Prime Thrusters on this guy. That means you can always do your boost. Your Talon rolls work with that too. That's pretty decent. Initiative 4, not really an ace. It's not an irrelevant initiative, but certainly not that great when Whisper and Redline's so prominent.
He'll be a good brawler, though.
Yeah. Again, cheap enough, blah, blah, blah. It's all good. Interesting blocker as well in those scenarios. I don't mind that pilots that sort of straddle the line between ace and low initiative because then they can sort of take up either role. And this ability does strike me as something that will work when you're flying after or before your opponent's ships because you can block or arc dodge pretty effectively.
Yeah, definitely.
Could be good. And last but not least, Jess Parva. When you defend and perform an attack, you may spend 1 charge or 1 non-recurring charge from an astromech equipped to you. Okay. If you do, you may reroll die equipped to the number of friendly ships at range 0 to 1 of you. And the person that translated this on Reddit is not too sure of the wording. I can understand the way I read that did not make a whole heap of sense to me. No. But basically, you get Jess's ability if you spend a charge on one of your astromechs.
So that's the BB units, R2
astromech. The R5 astromech. Yes.
So you got a bit of room to play with.
There's a bit of an options, yeah. I'd prefer to use an astromech that you would already want anyway, and the BB astromech looks pretty decent on that regard. It's a downgrade from Jess Parva's old ability, but she saw a lot of play in first edition. She was very big in Junkyard Rebels.
Yeah.
Not that that's relevant anymore because she can't be flown alongside those ships anyway. Junkyard Resistance.
Yeah.
Could be interesting.
I suppose it's... Yeah, a couple of X's and a couple of A's together.
Yeah, there's definitely a couple of A's that are relevant in that regard. But then we've got like Bombers and Falcon. I did see a couple of Junkyard Rebels lists in first edition that used the Resistance Chewbacca. Yeah, I can see this being very interesting. We got the C-3PO crew card. So yeah, Jess could still have a place in that regard. Very, very curious about that. My gut says no, that's firmly a Rebellion thing now, but we'll see.
Yeah.
Definitely more interested in Elo and Nye and Num and Snap Wexley, but yeah, that's cool. We have a couple of upgrade cards as well. R5X3 in the astromech slot. Before you activate or attack, you may spend 1 charge to ignore obstacles to the end of this phase. It has 2 charges.
Yeah, so this is interesting.
Very interesting indeed. I mean, you can split it up across 2 different turns. If you hit a rock, you could spend both charges, as in you spend it first to ignore the rock during activation and then again to shoot off of it. It feels really bad considering we have collision detector already.
Yeah.
But this can go on ships that can't take collision detector, so make of that what you will. You could Talon roll through rocks to get really cool shots with this. I mean, if you completely clear a rock, in that regard, it basically is the same as collision detector. So it could be like a budget option for T-70 X-Wings. But I think in my mind, that's the best place it has.
Yeah.
I mean, for newbies, yeah, shooting off rocks is handy, but it's not going to be what sees meta play.
Yeah.
I can see it being interesting on like Elo Atsi, potentially Poe, but I think Poe's already got better options anyway.
Yeah.
Elo. I like the idea of Elo doing white Talon rolls through a rock and ignoring it.
Ooh.
Yeah. That could be cool. But again, Elo might want BB-8 as well, so whatever. It's cool. I find it interesting, but I don't see it seeing meta play unless the points really make it relevant.
Definitely.
Last card we have here is the Ray Gunner, and this was kind of difficult to find a good translation of.
Yeah.
But I think based on what we saw in the comments of the Reddit article, we've worked it out. It's pretty much the Ray pilot ability, except it doesn't just work out the forward arc, it works out the mobile arc. And remember, people, the single icon for the mobile arc does work out a dual arcs as well. People always get confused about that when we see things. So while you perform a primary attack or defend, and the opponent is inside your mobile arc indicator, you may spend 1 force to change one result to an evade or a hit. It has 1 recursive force charge, as all force users do.
Yeah. So, not bad. It's obviously a slight downgrade on the force because it's a gunner as opposed to the actual pilot, which
Yep, that's
makes
fine.
sense.
It's going to be pricey because I think just improving the dice that much is so sought after in 2nd edition.
Yeah.
I don't know. See, we were talking before about, is this on Han going to be better than just Ray in the pilot seat of the YT-1300?
Yeah.
And I don't know. Maybe this is going to make Han relevant.
I think so.
Yeah. It's going to come down to points, but remember, Han is probably going to be much cheaper than the Ray pilot. This is going to make up the points, easy. But does Han want something else? I mean, Han, he can't take Bistan.
Yeah.
That's the whole thing. So he can't take the old Han Gunner card because that would be dumb.
Yeah.
For several reasons.
And Ray's probably going to be taking Finn
Yeah.
on hers. So does Ray and Finn Gunner work better than Han with Ray Gunner? And I think that's mainly the question.
That's a good point. Asking. That's a very good point.
And that's going to...
You can take Finn Gunner on Han and take Lone Wolf to reroll that dice every single time. It's just basically giving you more dice at that stage. Look, my gut says that Initiative 6 is relevant enough to push Han into seeing more play than Ray, but it's going to come down to the points. It's going to come down to the points of everything else, so we have to balance it with. I am very, very interested of Han alongside Poe as a list. I am very much considering just buying Heroes of the Resistance and this expansion pack just so I can fly that. The Initiative 6 Falcon and the T-70 X-Wing with Push the Limit built into it. I mean, surely the points have to work out. Surely you can do light builds on those to just squeak it out. I mean, Poe will be expensive. Poe's going to be like around 80 points. I'm very confident of that. Potentially even more, like 85. But and Han, I'm thinking up around like the 90 points, perhaps. Although he doesn't have force, so he could be around about the same. We'll see. But I'm very interested in the two of those guys together. I was in 1st edition. I was sad that never happened. So yeah, me as a player, in terms of, because I play Scum, I don't get access to that kind of really outrageously good flying pilot abilities, that kind of stuff. So I'd really, really enjoy that. In the comment section, what do you guys think of that? What do you think is going to be sort of meta lists in terms of the Resistance? Now that we have all the text on the card spoiled, hopefully FFG very, very soon will give us some points values, and then we can start doing some Hangar Bay episodes on this too.
I can't wait.
That's going to be so, so good. Anyway, guys, stay tuned. Coming up next, the First Order spoilers. We will catch you guys in the next video. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter and Reddit. Consider supporting the Patreon. Thank you so much to all of our existing patrons, and we'll see you guys later.
Bye.